last year when this event took place, the decorations were rather different, and the mood was a bit more somber. This year, though, this event is standing on its own. It's not coinciding with the other event that was going on at the same time in the previous 2 years. Nope, this time, this particular event is given the opportunity to stand on its own, and so we will get to recognize it here today. And for this occasion, I had the opportunity to do a test run of it before, and I noticed that there was something missing. And so, I decided to fill that gap. Therefore, I present to you once again our female Mikote, Rika Sasaki, who will be taking on this particular seasonal event, and it's certainly going to be quite a fun and even a hilarious one indeed. So with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthew back with you here in Overall Autism for this special bonus video of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. And for those of you who are wondering, no, that is not Minfilia standing on the left. It's just someone who happens to have her hairstyle. But yes, this is the 3rd edition of the seasonal event known as The Rising. Not to be confused with the song by Bruce Springsteen about 9/11, but yeah. 9/11 was quite a tragedy, and The Rising recognizes a tragedy in its own rights. But hopefully we'll be able to give it the proper justice today. So, let's take Rika here in Ul'dah to this particular person who's already getting swarmed like crazy. This is the leader of the Crystal Caravan, a female Lalafell, and we're going to help her out with this particular event for The Rising 2016. So let's go ahead and speak with her to take on the level 15 challenge entitled A Play in 3 Acts. The leader of the Crystal Caravan is on the lookout for an experienced adventurer.
By the 12! You there! You have the gait and the looks of someone bound for greatness! I reckon you've already taken your part in their fair share of daring deeds, exciting escapades, and astounding adventures! A worldly lass such as yourself might even make an audience swoon! If only you would try your hand at theater!
Well, given what Rika's currently dressed in, she could probably pass for a member of the cast of the Mikado. After all, she is in a kimono.
Believe me, I would know. I've spent the larger part of my life turning even the most ineloquent boors into masters of the stage, so I know immediately when I'm in the company of true talent, and you, my friend, have talent to spare. Who am I, you ask? Why, I'm the leader of the Crystal Caravan, the realm's premier puppet troupe. As it happens, I was just looking for an adventurer like you. You see, my leading man is having trouble finding the proper inspiration for his role. I was wondering if perhaps we might draw upon your worldly experience to give him a push in the proper direction.
To which Miss Rika agrees.
Excellent, excellent. Then without further ado, let me introduce the rest of the troupe.
So yes, here they are. We have 2 Lalafells, 2 Elizins, and a Rogadin. Remember I said that something was missing? Yeah. No Mikote! So, yeah, Mathai could have filled that void, but he did The Rising last year, so now it's Rika's turn.
'Tis an honor to meet you, my lady, and I hope our time together is fruitful. On the anniversary of our realm's rebirth, our troupe shall depict the tragic events of the Calamity. I shall play the role of the legendary adventurer, the Warrior of Light.
You were doubtless thinking, but I thought you were a puppet troupe. Indeed we are, but we strive to set ourselves apart from the rest. I urge you to try and find another troupe as lively as ours. You shall not.
Of course, the puppets still play a vital role. My partner and I provide the voices, endowing even the most crudely carved piece of wood with a personality of its own. I only hope you are able to provide our actor here with the inspiration to keep up with us.
Aye, our soulless performance is a shame to behold. But there'll be no show at all without puppets, or a stage. You can go ahead and thank me for those 2 indispensable elements. The audience may not see my face, but I appreciate the applause all the same.
It is with this talented crew that I hope to move the hearts of Eorzea's people and win their acclaim. It has been our dream to perform a play which lingers in the minds of its viewers long after the curtain falls. Indeed, 'tis my hope that this production will be remembered for years to come. But of course, an ambitious concept is nothing without a first-rate script, which is why we sought out Eorzea's foremost author of stories, poems, and songs to write it. However, the draft we've received from him is quite, shall we say, open to interpretation? In fact, I'm not sure if I would call it a script at all. It's more of a general outline of events. The others insist it's a work of genius, but I just can't see it.
Madam, you must look past the words on the page. A play is a living thing, and the playwright has given us the opportunity to let our imaginations run wild. Stirring dramas are born from the reactions of a crowd, the passion of the actors, and yes, even the weather can make a performance more lively.
A stirring drama, yes, that is what we must deliver. To that end, my acting should be informed by knowledge, by the experiences of those who live through the day firsthand, and who better than an adventurer to aid me in gathering such tales?
Yep, I'm being recruited. I understand the proprietress of the Quicksand, Mistress Momodi, has a soft spot for adventures like yourself. She likely has a wealth of stories to share. Good madam, if you could ask her to regale our star with but a few, the Crystal Caravan will be in your debt. And everyone's down with this idea. And they say adventurers only seek their own glory. You have our gratitude, friend. I reckon you might even put my purpose to shame, eh? And so, away they go.
Well then, let's be off, shall we? To the quicksand!
And so, the leader gives us her appreciation. And so away we go. Let's pass by all these guys. Yes, there is a vendor here, just like there was last year, where you can purchase fireworks. They have a new one called the Meteor Shower. In fact, before we go, I'll even buy one, just to show you what it looks like. Because these other ones I've shown up before for Q&As for Mathia. This is what the Meteor Shower looks like. Yeah, Meteor comes out of nowhere and strikes the ground with the Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn logo. Just to give you an idea of what that is. But yeah, can you imagine dropping one of those on someone's head? Even though it's intended to be a firework? Anyway, Momodi, how have you been? It's been a while.
Welcome, welcome. Come to celebrate the anniversary, haven't you? Couldn't have picked a better place, I say. What can I get for you?
How about the assistants to help out this gentleman?
Greetings, Mistress Momodi. I am a humble actor of the Crystal Caravan, and we plan to celebrate this momentous day by retelling the story of the Calamity. I come before you to hear any stories you may have of that day, so I may draw upon them to inspire my performance. Well, ain't that something? I'd be happy to oblige you, of course. Let me see, let me think. Right, 5 years back, was it? I remember it like it were yesterday, the lesser moon coming down hard, growing bigger and redder by the moment. Indeed, the moon burned as fiercely as the sun, and grew larger besides. Such a sight made many fear the end of the world was at hand, and rightly so. Makes me shudder even now to think of it, but not all of us were shivering in fear. There were those courageous few who fought on against the odds. You speak of the warriors of light, heroes worthy of song and celebration. Alas, none can remember what they look like or even their names. 'Tis a shame, truly. Right, a damn shame. All the more reason why your play is important. Even if we can't remember them, we can't let them or what they did for us be forgotten. Of course, Mistress Momodi, and thank you for reminding me of the gravity of our responsibility. I shall do my utmost to ensure the memory of the warriors of light lives on. You call on Baderon over at the Drowning Wench yet? Ought to if you haven't. I'm sure he'd be eager to speak with you. Just remember to ask nicely.
So yeah, we're being encouraged to go on a tour of Eorzea with the actor here.
A brilliant suggestion! That settles it then. Let us away to Limsa and speak with this Baderon. Mistress Momodi, it has been a pleasure.
And so away he goes. And so away we shall go as well. to Lemsulaminsa, and I shall join you at the Drowning Wench in a moment. Okay, we have arrived here at the Drowning Wench here in Lemsulaminsa, and the Crystal Caravan actor has already arrived, so let's go ahead and speak with Baderon, the proprietor of the Drowning Wench, to keep things going along. You're a festive looking pair, ain't you? If you ask me, there's no better place to celebrate the anniversary of the calamity than right here at the Drowning Wench. Well then, what's your poison? How about storytelling?
Greetings, Master Baderon. I've come seeking advice to aid in my own celebration of sorts. A stage reenactment of the very events this day commemorates. I would much appreciate if you could share with us any stories you might have.
A reenactment, you say? Look at me, that sounds like a grand idea. But before I get to rambling, I should warn you my memory ain't what it used to be. I remember the whole lot of them Alliance boys and girls marching off to Cartano. Dolmud was hanging overhead like a sword about to drop from the sky, and there had been talk about calling upon the 12th to stay as descent.
I can scarce imagine the fear that they must have had to overcome to set foot on a doomed battlefield.
It wasn't a task for the faint of heart going toe-to-toe with the galleons beneath the blood-red moon. Every man and woman what fought that day is deserving of our respect. Wasn't there myself, of course, but the survivors said that naught could be heard over the roar of the battle. That is, till Dolmud burst open and that thrice-damned bastard of a dragon Bahamut showed himself.
Bahamut, the prime of that set of yours of flame. No matter their strength in numbers, how could anyone hope to win against such an enemy?
They couldn't. But then, just as they're all bracing to be burnt to cinders, the dragon up and disappears in a flash of blinding light. Ain't a soul alive who knows how or the why of it.
I see. Master Baderon, you have my thanks for sharing your story. I shall do my utmost to ensure that our audience remembers the bravery of the soldiers that day. Oh, knowing the full weight of my responsibility makes me all the nervous.
Some say that's a good thing. On the road, I ain't the only one you ought to be asking about that day. I'm sure Miyun of the Carline Canopy will be happy to tell you a tale or two.
Of course, one can never have too much inspiration. Adventurer, let us depart for the Carline Canopy at once. Master Baderon, thank you again.
And so that's two of them down. And now, we're going back home. Back to Gredania. Back at the Carline Canopy in the moment. And now, having returned home to our beloved Gredania and the Carline Canopy, it's always nice to speak with our old friend Mother Miyun, who of course helped us start on our journey in A Realm Reborn 2.5 years ago. Let's speak with her to continue the story. Mother Miyun!
In looking to the past, we take solace in the present, and think of what the future may hold. Ah, pray forgive me. At this time of year, one cannot help but wax poetic. How may I be of service?
Well, you're serving this gentleman.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Mistress Miyun. I have been tasked with portraying the storied warriors of light in a play which will commemorate the events of the calamity. If you would be so kind to tell me of the Archon Louis Soir, a very resident of this city, I believe, I would be most grateful. Archon Louis Soir. Indeed, he resided here in Gredania. His sacrifice during the Battle of Cartano is something we shall never forget. Perhaps if you were to tell me more of him and his relationship with the Warriors of Light? Oh, he had worked closely with the Warriors of Light, even before Cartano. On that fateful day, he took charge of the Alliance forces. They did not hesitate to fight under his command. Had they not been there to hold back the relentless assault of the Imperial Army, many believed that Master Louis Soir would not have even had the time to beseech the 12th for aid. Alas, in the end, both the Archon and those brave heroes gave their lives in our defense. Though we can never thank them enough during this solemn time, we must honor their sacrifice. To honor the bond that Louis Soir and the Warriors of Light shared, and to commemorate their brave deeds, I pledge to bare my soul on the stage. Just as they risked their lives in the fighting, so too shall I act as if my life depends on it. Then I am certain you will receive a standing ovation. You have my sincerest gratitude, Mistress Miyun. As do you, adventurer. I feel my muse stirring at last. It's time to rehearse, rehearse, rehearse! Adventurer, pray inform the others that I shall set to work at once.
And we shall see you back in Ulda. which is of course where we need to go. So, Mother Mian, thank you so much for being such a great and awesome friend. You are always a pleasure to meet and come across when we have the opportunity to do so. Yeah, but if you can't tell, I've always appreciated Mother Mune from the start I've played this game, and it's been such a wonderful thing to be able to get an opportunity to speak to her when a quest encouraged us to do so. So, back to Ul'dah, and we will complete the first of these quests in a moment. Okay, so now we have returned to Ul'dah, and so we must give the Crystal Caravan leader the good news. And so there, Crystal Caravan leader.
Welcome back. It appears your research was certainly a success. Our future warrior of light set to rehearsing most enthusiastically. I owe you my thanks, good adventurer, for introducing us to such colorful and knowledgeable characters. Now we must begin preparations. Of course, we've spared a space for you as the guest of honor. May the tale of the calamity bring tears to your eyes and warmth to your hearts.
However... Chief, the bloody beam. It fell right on top of him, Godspeed good.
Him? What beam? Our lead was rehearsing the Battle of Cartano, most passionately I might add, when he knocked one of the puppets into an unstable beam, which then fell and knocked him off the stage. He'll recover with time, but only the 12 know when he'll be fit for theatrics. Heavens, forfeit, just when I thought our problems had been solved. To think his newfound passion was what led to this.
Although it grieves me greatly, I see no choice but to postpone our show. It would seem fate does not favor us today. I'll go and break the sad news to the public. But then...
Wait! I just thought of something! We have an adventurer right here, don't we? And one with no small amount of talent.
Yeah, she's looking at me like, what? How did I get dragged into this?
Yes! You can channel your own experiences and bring the heroics of the Warriors of Light to life. The more I look at you, the surer of it I become.
And these three give their approval. Madam, I believe you may be onto something. Of course, it stands to reason that an actual adventurer would be most suited to play the role of one. Why did we not see it before?
Can we really expect a novice to move the audience? Still, I must admit I would rather not disappoint our fans. And I suppose greatness does sometimes spring from improvisation? Yes, perhaps we have a chance after all. Besides, our voices should be able to carry the performance. So what say you? Will you take the stage?
And so, Rika musters up the courage, and we'll go ahead and do just that. Well, now that that's settled, I'll get the puppets on the stage ready. No more falling beams, you have my word. I'll hold you to it.
Feeling a bit of stage fright, eh? Worry not, my friend. My troupe is more than capable of bringing even the most wooden performance to life. Just act from the heart and I'm sure you'll impress. Well then, whenever you're ready, just let me know. Until then...
Well, until then will be right now, but before we do, you get experience, as is typically the case, as well as 627 gil, plus, for the Orchestrion, the Heavensward Orchestrion roll. And that's just at the start. That's just in the first quest. Let's go ahead and add that to Rika's collection of music. And in the meantime, we'll go ahead and move on to quest number 2. Let's speak with the Crystal Caravan leader to take on the next level 15 quest entitled Show Must Go On! The Crystal Caravan leader is ready to put on the show of a lifetime.
Ready to take the stage, are we? Our preparations should be more or less complete. Whenever you're ready, our carpenter is waiting near the wings to let you on the stage. Remember, all we ask is that you give us your most heartfelt performance and return here once you've finished. Oh, and don't forget, our future is riding on your shoulders!
So to start the play, we must go over to the carpenter, the klutz that he is, and this is the stage that we will be making use of. Alright, over to the carpenter. Ready to take the stage, eh? Just changing into your costume menu, but are you ready to start the show? Took me a bit of work to adjust it to your size. Let's hope it brings out the hero in you. So yeah, Rika doesn't get to go in her kimono. She gets to wear something else. Now the rest of us will be following your lead, but don't put too much pressure on yourself. We're professionals after all. Just talk from the heart, and we'll make the best of it like we always do. Now go on and good luck. Let the play begin. I'll be cheering for the wings. And so away we go. As dawn sets on a new day.
It was the year 1572 of the 6th Astral Era. A terrible catastrophe known as the Calamity threatened to bring untold destruction to Eorzea.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? But these mechanics do look good.
At the same time, the Guardian Empire overran the Cardinal Flats. The three great city-states formed a grand alliance that they might repel the aggressors and see their people through these dark times. Among the many who fought that day was a warrior whose noble deeds gave others the courage to carry on. A warrior who was willing to sacrifice herself to save the many.
And that, of course, is represented by Rika.
A warrior of light!
Dressed as a go-go posing ranger from this year's Moonfire Fair. Yeah, why this outfit? Proud sons and daughters of Garlemald, we shall purge this land of its blight. But first, let us crush its pathetic army under the heels of our boots! And thus they go to fighting. Even Rika puts up a few dukes. Yeah, put up your dukes there, Rika.
The two armies clashed under the spectre of the sanguine moon. The warrior of light led a band of hardened adventurers into the desperate melee, trying to stem the tide of the relentless onslaught. They fought on until, flagging and weary, the moon of Dalamud waxed ever fuller, at last bursting open to reveal the terrifying truth of what slumbered inside.
And in case of Final Fantasy VI, like, yeah, we know who it is.
Yes! From within the flaming moon emerged the dread primal Bahamut!
Yeah, put up your dukes there, Bahamut.
Freed at last from his prison, he unleashed his seething rage upon the land, engulfing Eorzea in flames!
Yeah, those are powerful flames.
Our intrepid hero was helpless in the face of such power, and the force of Bahamut's assault left her battered and breathless. But just as the sun was set on Eorzea's fate, a voice called out, saving our brave champions from certain doom.
What will you say?
It was the voice of Archon Louisoix!
Represented by this doll.
Indeed, it was the Archon Louisoix's voice that called out of the endless battlefield, the erudite scholar and compassionate commander who came from far-flung Sharlayan to deliver us some salvation.
Or to salvation. From salvation. 12 above, I beseech thee, lend me your strength and seal Bahamut within Dalamud once more. From salvation. Yes, even I am flawed.
But lo, Bahamut's power was too great, and Louisoix's ritual failed.
Like, oh no!
The end of Eorzea was at hand, but in that moment of darkest despair, the Archon entreated the gods once more. Hearkening to his plea, they imbued the Warrior of Light with their divine strength. Once more our hero rose and stood unflinching against Bahamut.
What we say? Bahamut was slain with a single blow. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make you all believe that. Brave champions, I leave the rest in your hands. If I can but see you to a new future, I should want for nothing more.
Louisoix's final words joined the prayers of every Eorzean, and the 12 bestowed upon the Warrior of Light their blessing. With the fate of the realm resting on her shoulders, our hero lashed out with one last desperate attack, imbued with the power of the gods themselves!
You're like, bring it on! Here's the wind-up and the pitch! And Bahamut turned into fireworks and streamers. And yours is saved! Warrior of light, the realm is in your debt! The threat has been vanquished and hope can return to the hearts of the people. The bravery of our heroes shall illuminate the future of the realm! Look how determined she is! Yeah, that's the most determined that Rika has looked every time we've shown her in these special events. And these guys approve as well.
I knew you'd be a success up there. Even so, I didn't expect you'd do that well. You have our thanks, adventurer.
They're still clapping. Well, what are you waiting for? Go back out there and give your adoring fans what they want.
You're still all new to all this, aren't you? It's called a curtain call. Now's your chance to bask in a well-deserved applause. Show the crowd your lovely face.
Well, Rika does have a lovely face. That cannot be denied. Yeah, go back out there and receive the adulation you deserve.
Would you listen to that? How long do you think they would clap if she remained on the stage?
For as long as she deserves, I gather. It is not one often has the opportunity to be in the presence of such a radiant actor. It is as if the Warrior of Light herself was standing there. Let me pose for you guys. Yeah, I'll show off for all of you. And so now that all is all done, Crystal Caravan Leader is now over back, of course, where she normally is, so later that night. Where are you, leader? There you are.
I must say you certainly exceeded our expectations. Perhaps the little accident before was but a blessing in disguise? Either way, I can offer you my thanks, on behalf of every member of the Crystal Caravan. And it would seem you have one particularly passionate fan that would offer you his personal thanks. He has left a message just for you.
And so, for completing the show must go on, we get some more of the meteor shower fireworks I just showed off earlier. And we must speak with the caravan leader for the final Quest for the Rising 2016 entitled After the Curtain Falls. The Crystal Caravan Leader gazes at you with expectant eyes.
Our leading lady returns, I see. Once again, I must say you gave quite a memorable performance. So memorable, in fact, that the playwright himself expressed his admiration. Although he will be soon departing Ul'dah, he very much wished to speak with you before he boarded the airship. Go now, and you might catch him.
So yes, our playwright is over this direction. Also as well, I really like this new addition that they've given for the Rising, that these little floor lights, the little patio lights, it almost makes it look like a runway at an airport or something. That's just my interpretation of it. So let's go ahead and wait for the person who wanted to speak with us, because they are obviously very appreciative of what we have just done. So where is our playwright? Well, if you remember back to previous Risings... Greetings, my friend. When I set quill to parchment to recount the story of the calamity, I did not imagine you would be cast as the Warrior of Light. Yes, that's our old wandering minstrel friend from the previous 2 years of the Rising. 'Tis an honor to meet you. It is not often that I dabble in the art of the prose, but I am glad my words were brought to life by such a skilled actor. You see, I am more of a poet by nature. And a poet's heart is wont to wander, which is how I found myself in Eorzea, a land once unfamiliar to me. My travels have been rife with innumerable trials, and I have often found myself indebted to the adventurers who saw me safely through them. It is to honor the selflessness of these heroes that I write my songs, and 'twas for the self-same reason that I penned the play in which you performed. Your superb acting has certainly aided me in achieving that goal. I was so taken with your performance that I found myself unable to stop my applause even after you had left the stage. Well, someone needed to play the role of Mikote. Just so happens Rika was willing to fill the void. Although the calamity was a terrible tragedy, it also served to sow the seeds of hope for the future. Hope in the form of countless brave adventurers, much like the Warriors of Light, who even now protect Aozera with their lives. And as much as I would like to see you take the stage time and again, I am certain you will be of more use to the realm as its protector, and an adventurer. For my part, I shall continue to regale others with songs telling of your deeds. Yeah, thank you very much there, Wandering Minstrel. And so, much like the Rising ended in the same way last year, fireworks light up the old-ass sky. The road ahead will be fraught with hardship, of this I'm certain. If you ever find yourself in the midst of a crisis, remember the events of the calamity. Remember how hope was born from despair and continued our fight, that I might someday hear of your heroics. Yeah, let us indeed ponder this as we gaze into the night sky. And every year for the Rising, they provide one particular firework. In 2014, they gave 1. In 2015, it was 2. This year, they give us 3 rings. So yeah, there's now that ring 3 times over. And so now, dawn is almost about to rise on another day in Ul'dah. But before we do, we must close this final event here for the Rising. So let's speak with the caravan leader one more time.
Have you spoken to the Wandering Minstrel? Splendid! But there is one last member of our troupe who would offer you his thanks. Why, none other than our star-crossed leading man, freshly released from the infirmary.
Yeah, there he is, in his own posing ranger armor.
When that beam took me out of commission, I was positively crestfallen. It is no small blessing that we were able to perform the show, and to such acclaim. But alas and alack, I was confined to a bed in Frondel's Fontestry, unable to witness your stunning performance with my own eyes. The chirurgeon has instructed me to refrain from taking the stage until I am fully healed, but I intend to stay limber with some light rehearsing, and I certainly intend to watch your next appearance. Yes, you simply must reprise your role. We've received countless inquiries from your adoring fans, all curious as when your next performance will be. The puppet theater is a simple matter to set up. Ask and we can be ready in a flash. To prove how eager we are for you to join us again, I'll add a little bonus to your payment for this performance.
Thank you.
You've certainly earned it for all you've done for us. Pray do not let this be the last time I can reward your performance. It will be an honor to tell our tale of heroism and hope with you again.
And so, after that, we have our final rewards. Experience 333 gil, plus 2 brand new minions. A wind-up Kryl, she is terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. And a dress-up Ishtola, now with more etheric enhancements. Yeah, there is a wind-up Ishtola doll that is available from before. So this is the Heavensward version of it, I guess you could say. I guess you could say that is the dress-up version is the Heavensward version of that doll. So Rika also receives the achievement, Third Rise as a Charm. And speaking of rises, the sun has risen. And so, a new day dawns here in Eorzea. Now if I can just get myself into a position where we can say Rika's lovely face. Because yes, her face will certainly light up the stage again and again here in Eorzea whenever called upon. In fact, who knows, at this point, we could very well have her reprise her role from last year's All Saints Wake for Halloween this year. So, definitely something we could end up seeing her doing again. But then again, we could give it to the next Warrior of Light for whenever the next expansion comes out. It's all up to whether I decide to do it or not, but that'll all happen in due time. So I'm glad to have had this opportunity to have you come with me on the 2016 edition of The Rising. We've had this opportunity to do this with 3 different characters now, and so obviously we'll have to do it with another new character when it happens again next year. But we're going to bid farewell to Olda and also to our lovely female Mikote, Rika Sasaki, for giving us the performance of a lifetime. And we certainly hope that you'll see more performances of a lifetime as the Final Fantasy story continues here at Let's Play Novora Autism. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. And I have a special announcement. When I join you again in a Let's Play video, it will be on September 27th. The date has been officially announced for the next part of the Heavensward main story. And so I will see you guys live on September 27th with the new patch 3.4. So until next time everyone, this is Matthew at Novora Autism, saying take care, and I'll see you soon.